personally hope to get to live independently, but I fear it.
Freedom. It's a major theme in DJ's poetry and Amanda's writing. So during our online chat, I asked them, what does it mean to be free?
To get to joyously live the dream.
Or to live things better than we dreamed.
In the meantime, Amanda has almost arrived at the conference for autistic people. But will it all get too overwhelming?
When we come back, more than 25...
Hey, what have we been missing?
I wonder how many other people who don't have a system like this or don't have some way of communicating are just never reached. I mean, it sounds tragic to me to feel like there might...
It is, because I have never met a person who had no communication.
We watched as Amanda set out on a journey. She'll travel over 2,500 miles from her home in Vermont to Edmonton, Canada. By any measure, it's a long trip. But for Amanda, she says it's one of the toughest things about being autistic.
Having to navigate a world that is on all levels built for the abilities and deficits of people who are not built remotely like me.
After weeks of preparation, Amanda finally departed for the big trip, flanked by her friends. First by road, then by plane. Amanda's invitation to speak at the autism conference is exciting, she tells us, but it all makes her nervous. Speaking in public always comes at a high price for Amanda. Physical and emotional fallout is inevitable.
I gave a talk at a conference, and by the end of the talk I went outside and chased shadows around for a while, and somewhere in the process lost bladder control too, and then froze for a while, and then when I could move again I was suddenly far less able to understand things, because at that point it's either moving or understanding, but not both.
Amanda has learned to recognize her body's limits, but also her intense need to be around other autistics.
There's often a wider communication gap between autistic and non-autistic people.
Amanda recognizes many of the people here. And for many of them, Amanda is a shining inspiration.
When we start to see people like Amanda Baggs, who other people might deem low functioning because she's using a device and she can't talk. And then you begin to start breaking down the barriers of those stereotypes.
Make no mistake, this conference is not for doctors or researchers. It's for autistic people. It's organized by the Autism National Committee. This year's title sums it up best. Autism, living life to the fullest. Their issues are complex. Their goals here, though, are simple.
We are trying to reduce all sorts of sensory overload.
Instead of applause, people are asked to simply stand up.
Except for Amanda, who's just going to be waving her arm, because she's going to be the one person who ain't going to stand.
Microphones are forbidden, because audio feedback can send many people here into a frenzy.
There are 3 reasons not to believe in an autism.
Presentations are frequently interrupted by autistic outbursts, and people are free to walk around during the panels. The conference food is all gluten-free. Many autistics avoid gluten because they think it may worsen their symptoms.
Also to be allowed to feel good about ourselves.
People who fall into all categories of autism spectrum disorders have come from all over North America. Amanda traveled here with Larry Bissonette, a 42-year-old painter and subject of a recent documentary. It takes minutes for him to type a mere sentence.
With your perception of autistics probably are changing hope under all of this external nonsense you can otherwise see gathering of my intelligence in my typing.
We got sunlight on the sand, we got moonlight on the sea.
Jordan Ackerson, a good-looking, clean-cut young man, just graduated from high school in Michigan. During his senior year, he ran for student council. He's just about to start college. 12-year-old Darby and her parents hope to learn a better way to connect. She wears headphones to avoid overstimulation.
The research by most...
It's a rare moment for Amanda to merge her 2 worlds, the online autistic community and physically being around people who better understand her gestures and her movements.
It's nice to meet people again that I've known online for a long time.
Amanda keeps her wooden cat with her at all times. She reaches for it and rubs it. It's familiar and provides comfort as she makes her way through the new setting. Finally, the time has come to give her presentation. Her panel is in one of the smaller rooms of the conference.
I have been given a massive number of psychiatric labels, both orally and on paper.
She talks about her life in a speech entitled, Having a Voice in Decision-Making, the Issue of Guardianship. But soon, the conversation turns from living alone and independently to how people can best be guardians to their autistic children. Amanda begins to get frustrated.
I really don't understand the point of my being here. If all I'm going to be told is my situation doesn't apply.
Her frustration builds, her typing more staccato. She grunts to make her point. And finally, she's on frustration overload.
Some other way to do it instead of defending guardianship by drawing these stupid lines between people you are all about not labeling. Well, you are labeling me.
Amanda wheels out of the room into the bathroom. We can hear her screams of anger through the walls. The next day, we asked her about what happened.
The last straw was just being continuously seen as an exception to the rule. I just got fed up and realized I had to either get out of there or make a public spectacle of myself, and I decided to get out of there.
Frustration and anger at not being heard. Emotions common to all of us. Amanda doesn't dwell too long on the panel itself, but surprisingly, she's enchanted by the aftermath.
I got really upset and ran into the bathroom and started screaming, and then a few of my friends came in and started talking to me about what was upsetting me, and that's the first time I have ever had that experience. Stereotypical female clumping in bathrooms phenomenon before now.
Amanda Baggs has a special gift for finding the humor in stereotypes. And somehow, it makes it easier for all of the rest of us to begin to see what we've been missing all along.
You've now seen firsthand how Amanda Baggs